Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now a lot of you who follow this channel know that the favorite go-to word of this channel is unbelievable. That is a word that recurs in every other video. So guys, unbelievable, just keeping with tradition, unbelievable, as guys I bring you this, it is silly to blame the military for Nigeria's problem. Former military leader Ibrahim Babangida says. So Ibrahim Babangida, of course, if you are talking of corruption in Nigeria, that is the guy that a lot of people attributed the institutionalization of corruption in Nigeria to. This is the guy that made corruption the standard practice within the Nigerian space, because prior to Babangida, there was corruption in Nigeria, but the thief, the stealer, the looter, he will steal and hide away and try and cover his tracks, etc. But after Babangida and during Babangida, by the way, it was just mass looting. You remember that the most expensive election in Nigeria was conducted by Babangida, June 12 and all that. You remember that option A4 and all that nonsense that was doing, SDP and whatnot, creating two parties and then wasting billions and billions on fake elections, and then just looting the money and then cancelling the election, saying that he's going to carry on. We saw all that to the point that he was forced out to hand over to Shonekan. So we saw all that. And remember also during Babangida's era, they will loot a whole ministry, completely empty the coffers of that ministry, and then they'll burn the building of that ministry to the ground. So we're talking about the very if you are looking for ground zero, the epicenter, the core, the one thing above all else that has led to the situation that we find ourselves in that country today, then you look no further than this same character, Babangida. But again, he says it is silly to blame the military for Nigeria's problems. Headline attributed to former military leader, or should we say dictator, Ibrahim Babangida. So now let's now see what Maradona has to say. Former military leader Ibrahim Babangida has said that it will be a silly thing for Nigerians to blame the military for the problems plaguing the country. The 79-year-old former military leader stated this in a fresh interview with Channels Television. Babangida, who led Nigeria from 1985 to 1993, said the military cannot be blamed for Nigeria's problems because it was the civilian government that instituted a system upon which they operated. We did not create problems. We tried to provide the framework upon which subsequent governments could build upon. Most of the infrastructural developments, even the democracy, we midwifed it. We were able to capture what the world is doing now and bring them into our own country. I find it silly to say that we created the problems. It is a joint venture between the military and the civilians. You were there to show us how the system works. The institutions of governance and government, all these were civilian prerogatives, he said. Babangida dismissed the possibility of another coup in Nigeria. A sensible military man will not like to drag his country into a lot of problems and sanctions. The moment you take over a government, the regional and international bodies will come after you, and everything you want to do in terms of development will not be accepted. You cannot work on your own, he said. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have Ibrahim Babangida trying to rewrite history and obviously to absolve himself. So if you're looking at Nigeria and if you're looking at the problems of that country, then you look no further than three names. So those names are Babangida 1, Abacha 2, and Buhari 3. Actually, it should be in the order sequence, because it was actually Buhari that came before Babangida, and he looted his own. Then Babangida came to do his own looting, and then of course Abacha came and stole everything. And that of course is the genesis of all of the problems that we have within the Nigerian state today. So if Abiola had had his turn as the president of Nigeria, remember Abiola was planning to introduce a social security sort of system to the Nigerian place, and it was having all these infrastructural development plans, which gelled with a lot of people. Abiola won then in Kano, which was the home state. I think who was it? Was it too far or too far that contested against him? Abiola won in Kano State, the home state of the person that was contesting against him. They trumpeted that election as the freest in the history of Nigeria, but yet they said no. So why did they say no? You don't really need to look any far to find the reasons why they did say no, because of course they did not say no for the betterment of Nigeria. No, they said no for two reasons and two reasons only: money and power. So these are the two things that these people care about the most. And by the way, forget about all this ethnicity and religion that we trumpet a lot and we cry about a lot within the Nigerian space. The ethnicity and religion are just tools that these people use to hold themselves in situation, but their real want are those two elements that I just mentioned: money and power, and that is something that they would compromise nothing to get. A lot of these people, they have bills and bills of dollars stacked in their strong rooms in their homes. If you see some of these clips that I'm sure a lot of you would have seen anyway, all these clips of all these malamis stacking dollars in their house, I'm talking about bills and bills. I'm talking hundreds of millions, and they're countless of them. So this is really where the thing is, and the underpinning of all that is of course the military intrusions that we've had within the Nigerian space. So starting with the I think it was the Igbo coup that has kicked it off. I can't remember the name of the person that did that coup in the 60s, which was then replaced by Gowon, who tried his best, but then the Biafra interruption, and then of course we've had that spiraling all the way through. So if you look at all of the names that are responsible for the destruction of that country, they're military names and military names alone. So you look at Gowon, you look at Obasanjo, you look at Abacha, you look at Buhari, and you look at Babangida. So those five names are responsible for the state of that country. So if you have any other name that you want to add to that and have an argument that buttresses it, then I'd like to hear what names you have. But for me personally, if you look at the trajectory of that country called Nigeria, the destruction of it is circled round those five names: Gowon, Obasanjo, Buhari, Babangida, and Abacha. That is the destruction of Nigeria right there, those five names. But then of course, if you have other thoughts, then I'd like to hear all about it in the comment section. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come tell me then what your take is on what this military dictator is saying, that is not responsible for the state of the nation that we are having to endure as it is of today. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.